Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today. How do you track your team's innovation efforts? However that is, we've got an easier way. Let us introduce Playbook. Playbook is Plug and Play's innovation software. It is an exclusive tool only available for our ecosystem's corporate partners. With it, you and your team will be able to browse your curated startups database, create, discover, and rate lists of startups, track your engagement, pilots, and investments, analyze data from the tech ecosystem, organize private sessions with select startups, and so much more. Hundreds of corporations count on Playbook to empower their innovation journey. Get in touch to start using Playbook today.
So, hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the studio. This is Laura.
And this is Arthur.
So thank you all for being here today. We are very happy to see you all. We kicked off things yesterday with our founder event. I hope that you had a chance to listen to those very inspiring women in tech that we hosted, and that you also had the opportunity to listen to our brand and retail expo this morning.
We are super excited to have you here today with us and close together this super successful Batch 7. We would have loved to have you here physically in our event space, but today we must have a virtual event. But the good things about virtual events is that actually people are sitting in all different places. So we would love just to warm up things here to hear from you. Can you please type in the chat where you are sitting and where are you watching us from today? We want to see where you are, because I'm from Italy, but actually now I'm sitting in Munich. And where are you from, Arthur?
Yeah, I think as you can all tell from my very thick accent, I'm from France, and I'm also seated with Laura in Munich. So let's see where our audience is seated right now.
You can see the chat there. But the chat is disabled. Well, I guess Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. So I guess that we have some people from Generali. Oh, from Amsterdam, from southern Germany.
From London.
Oh,
Dubai.
Hi, Edwin. Frankfurt. Wow, how many places?
Yeah,
super.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm happy to see that people are listening to us from such different places. But maybe, Laura, I have one question for you. If you had to choose one highlight of today, what would it be?
That's a hard one, because I'm looking forward to the startup pitches, but if I have to pick one highlight, I guess the pilot showcase, because I'm really, really looking forward to hearing and finding out how the collaboration that came from Plug and Play introduction foster innovation. So it's super exciting for that. And what about you? Same question for you.
Yeah, I guess for me it will be the startup pitches, but I'm also very excited by the Innovation Awards.
For that, you really must stay with us until the very end. Can you please tell me and our audience what the Innovation Awards are?
Yeah, sure. There's actually two of them. So there's the Corporate Innovation Award that will reward one of our partners that was particularly engaged and innovative this year. And there is also, just here. And then there is also the People Choice Award that our audience will decide today.
Very, very, very cool. So let's jump right in. Very excited to be here today and conclude together the our Insurtech 7 batch here in Munich. So we saw 14 great startups today that work closely together with our corporate partner, focusing on 5 main topics that you can see here. So from sustainability, automation, distribution, customer insights, super, super exciting. Huh? I really personally think that there is some real progress going on here. I would love to give you an overview of what is about to come today. So we're going to start by handing it over to our Insurtech director, Dr. Xenia Poppe, for a warm welcome to all of you. And then I'm very proud to announce a great fireside chat with Eric Sibony from Gefen Technologies, alumni startup of Munich and 2021 unicorn. We will then jump right into the startup pitches, starting from the 8 general ones. Right after, we will have just a break to grab a coffee, and then super proud to showcase my favorite part of today, so my highlight, the great success story of Generali Health Solution and Pathmate Technologies collaboration.
Yeah, and then we will continue with 3 startup pitches from Life and Health, followed by Property and Casualty with 3 additional pitches. And then we will jump into the part that I was very excited about, the award ceremony. So we'll give out the corporate as well as the People's Choice Award. Then finally, before telling goodbye to all of you, we'll invite you to our open networking session.
Amazing. Super excited for our day. So just to kick things off, I would like to handing it over to our director, Dr. Xenia Poppe, Insurtech director here in Munich, which will welcome all of you with some opening remarks here with you. Hi, Xenia.
Thank you, Laura, and Natua for welcoming our guests to this special day. Also, for me, it is a true pleasure to see all of you here today, to feel the energy and curiosity to learn, to network, to get inspired, and to innovate. The insurance part of Munich's Winter Summit is at the same time the Expo Day, the culmination of a 3-month innovation and business development program for this time 14 Insurtech startups. Those startups are focused on various topics, whether it's enterprise tech or distribution solutions, and of course with plenty of topics at the interface to other industries like health, supply chain, and mobility. You can see that when we are speaking about Insurtech, we really mean any technology that has a potential influence on the insurance industry, really any technology, because this is what we strive for. Our goal is to help the world progress through innovation and connection. It all began actually in the so-called Lucky Building, where Google was one of our first tenants of our CEO and founder, Saeed Amidi, and at the same time, the very first example to show how the right connections can help progress the world. Many of these examples followed, and now we can look at a history of success stories where plug-and-play's ecosystem enabled connections to VCs, corporations, and startups. Over the years, plug-and-play became the largest innovation platform in the world and developed an incredible ecosystem of change makers. In this ecosystem, we support corporate innovation by closing the gaps in the innovation learning cycle, from an innovation strategy over experimentation, executing, and analyzing the learnings we support no matter where along the innovation journey. Innovation is truly everywhere and in every industry and has its particularities in such industries. At Plug and Play, we currently drive innovation in multiple verticals, more than 18 to be more concrete. In Munich, we run this verticals brand and retail, Insurtech, and health tech. Today, we focus on insurance. And on this map, you can see all our active Insurtech programs and more locations, because innovation happens across the globe. With more than 40 offices around the world, Plug and Play can service various industries, such as energy, IoT, or food, with the local particularities. And that is actually the magic of it, the innovation platform that allows various cross-vertical projects, such as uniting sustainability and health, or brand and retail and logistics, to just name a few. Just from the insurance industry, We have over 90 corporate partners that are working here with us together on industry-specific projects and projects beyond insurance. But let me bring the spotlight on the following partners that are working with us on great projects and with our startups here in the Insurtech Europe program. Regional players, global players, large and small, some family-owned, life and health-focused, reinsurers. This is a beneficial diversity of partners to share the best practices and collaborate on projects to change and improve such a traditional industry like insurance is. And how this change is happening, you will see now. I invite you to spend the day with us, to make meaningful connections, to use the tool we're in, Hopin, and make the connections to some of the most innovative companies in the world. Stay with us all the way until the end to get the most important insights from the startup pitches and to see who will win the innovation awards this time. Enjoy your day with us, and I'll hand over to the studio so the moderators can show you how to make the most out of this day. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Xenia.
So now before we jump into the art of the event, let's do a little bit of housekeeping rules. Today we're using this great platform called Hopin, and Hopin has a lot of different features that we will be using today. So on the left of your screen, you should see a few icons. There's the stage where the main event will take place. Then there is also the networking that will allow you to connect with anybody at the event. And finally, at the very bottom of it, you can see the expo. Each of the startups will get their own booth into the expo part where they will share, when you will be able to find additional information about the startup, their website, their contact details always, and also their pitch deck that I will present today. Also, you will have the opportunity to interact with us. There is a chat, there's a chat option. I've seen that most of you have already started to use it. That's amazing. Please continue to do so. Then there is the poll. So at the end of each of the startup pitches, we will ask you if you want to get connected to the startup. This is actually quite important because at the end of this event, we will gather all of the information and make the appropriate introduction. Finally, we want this event to be as participative as possible. So please make use of the Q&A features of Hopin to ask as many questions as possible. With that being said, let's go to the next part.
Thank you, Arthur. So you can see this is us here. So Arthur and I are here in the studio with you today, but a big, big shout out to the whole Insurtech team who put together all of this. So here are Xenia, who welcomed you already, our amazing program manager, Jessica, our event manager, Gada. Then there is Max, Matteo, Kiran, and Nicolo. In case of any question or just in general, always feel free to reach out and get in contact with any of them. They are all over the event space and they are at your disposal. And they are very nice person, like very nice people, I can tell you that.
Yeah, also, that's a little glimpse of what we have in Munich, but we also have other like people in Plug and Play. You have a picture here of all of the great faces that make Plug and Play the way it is. And just to give you a bit of understanding that there is more than just us in Munich. So now let's up to the next,
and
one.
People, I strongly hope that today you are really making some meaningful connections.
Wait, Laura, what do you mean by meaningful connection? I mean, I'm struggling a bit to understand how you can actually make meaningful connection without actually physically being in the same room.
I know, Arthur, I know, and it's quite hard, but we have done our best to really replicate what would be the physical setting here virtually, just for you. And we want you, so we started this a couple of summits ago, and we want to keep it up also today. So we created so many networking opportunities, the possibility to get in contact with the startups, just chatting with you, the networking at the end. So we really want you to make at least 10 new connections today.
That's wonderful. I hope that our audience will make the best use of it to network as much as possible. So now we can jump into the next session, so the Fireside chat. And I would like to welcome to the floor Eric Siboni, co-founder and CSO of Gefen Technologies. one of the recent French unicorn, and also alumni of our batch 1 at Insurtech Munich, as well as Jessica Cheng, and of Partner Success at Plug and Play. Jess, are you here?
Hi, thank you, Arthur. Very nice to see the nice setup in the studio. Thank you, Eric, for being with us here today. Who would have thought, right, that we will meet at another summit, but instead this time you'll be on a fireside chat and not a startup pitching. But really excited to have you here with us today, and very glad to have some exclusive time with you. Just as a little warm-up for our audience, so as Arthur mentioned, we want to keep this as interactive as possible. Can everyone let us know in the chat, what are you most curious about to hear when it comes to Shift success, and what you want to get out of this fireside chat? So we need to let Eric spill all the beans, all the secrets, so please don't be shy and fire away. And Eric, while the audience kind of like type on the chat what they're curious about, can you start by letting us know what Shift does, how the company was born, and what your role in the company is?
Yes, hello everyone, and thank you very much for the invitation. It's really a pleasure. So the origin of Shift actually was so some years ago. We were two with the CEO, with Jeremy, who's today the CEO. So we spent some time in a big insurance group, and we had the opportunity to work with business teams on the topic of fraud fighting. And working with them, we were able to discuss and understand in detail what they were doing on their everyday life and what they could need from a data processing, or that we would later call an AI solution for that. And so at the time, we had the feeling that there was no major good solution on the market that was answering the needs. So we thought, let's start and do it. So we created Shift in 2014, and so our initial focus was really to provide, and it's still our biggest product, provide a solution to insurance companies to help them detect fraud. So that was and still has been our major product, and since then we've expanded to other products, either across the claim lifecycle or across underwriting, that answer all the types of key decision making using AI.
Awesome. Thanks for giving us a very comprehensive overview of Shift. I would like to jump straight into it. And as you know, the fast growth of Insurtech companies is sometimes can be quite fascinating, and we don't see so many like Shift in the industry. Can you maybe shed some light on what you think is one of the key features or reason why Shift has been able to, achieve such massive growth that you guys have seen? Is it about the time to market, or the greatest technology, or the ability to scale very quickly?
Yeah, I think something that probably has helped us a lot was that from the start, going for the fraud detection problem. So we were not going for a new use case. It was a use case. I mean, it has been a use case that insurers deal with for a long time. So a lot of them already 10 years ago had SIU teams, so special investigation units. So a team of people who are here to process the cases that are suspicious and look at the performance of their team through, let's say, one major KPI, which is about how much money was it possible to save, when not paying the fraudulent claims. And so we were providing our solution to answer a problem that was clearly identified, and that I think helped us starting having quick discussions, because from the start the problem we were tackling was clear, and the value they could expect was clear as well, and also was well quantified. So that I think was the first point, and then from the start we knew that of course it would take a lot of time, and it still does. Sales cycles are quite long. This is the insurance industry. That's normal. So we did everything we could to make it the fastest possible. So for example, we know at the beginning that you need to go through some POC projects or POV projects. It's really hard to avoid. And it makes sense because on the insurance side, they rightfully, it's normal that they should doubt about the technology, about the performance. It makes sense. So we thought about how we can make that the simplest possible, and then replicate that, and mostly have them not necessarily commit, but have some kind of strong engagement, so that if the results are there, and with the right level of accuracy and right level of performance, then it should proceed to go into a full productions.
Mm-hmm. That sounds interesting. And you mentioned the long sales cycle. I think that's not unfamiliar situation for everyone in the industry. Maybe you can let us know, and this is also something that someone commented on the chat. So what is the average sales cycle that you see for Shift?
It's actually something we've tried to track.
Yeah.
But we struggle sometimes because sometimes it's hard to see what's the beginning. You may have one contact one day and then nothing, and then it starts over 6 months later. Mm-hmm. So on average, we consider it's a year, but it's more like, it's a really I would say a broad order of magnitude.
Yeah, that's definitely also what we kind of see here at Plug and Play after working with so many startups and corporations. It really varies, right? It could be as quick as, I would say, 3 weeks or 6 weeks, and then it can go all the way to 1 year, a year and a half, or sometimes even 2 years. It's really pretty unpredictable. But thanks so much for kind of shedding some light into what are some of the key success factors. When, in your personal experience or working with Shift as well, have you, seen any distrust when it comes to insurers working with such a solution like Shift, or what were some of the main challenges that you faced collaborating with insurers in the industry?
I wouldn't say it's distrust, but there's of course there's always this natural question about what insurers should build internally and what they should buy. Mm-hmm. And actually, there's a lot of new technology, and naturally us, like all other startups are using it to provide new solutions, but insurers also are using it as well. And it's clearly, it's not an easy question for them to answer, what they should build, what they should buy, or what will be the world in 5 years. Does it make sense to invest there, or will it become a commodity? All these kind of questions. And so I think we've put a lot of efforts into simplifying these questions for them, and I think that's really the key in order to make it progress, because there's no just simple uniform answer for all these questions. But whenever it's about this new product, they always need to understand how it fits in their strategy, how it fits in their operations, and all that. So really, not distrust, more like they need to understand. And insurers are big companies. That's that's a starting point. So they also have a lot of people which all have different interests. So you need to explain that to each of the teams. And so what we've always done at Shift was, every time there's a need during the sales cycle to spend another meeting, another workshop with internal teams to better explain the value we can bring, we've always done it. And it's sales cycles can then become quite long and requiring a lot of effort, but in the end, usually it's always worth it.
Sounds good. So that's definitely a tip for all of our founders out there. So I hope everyone's taking notes. And then for the corporate partners listening, definitely you can see how Shift and Eric is such a pleasure to work with. So hopefully you get to meet startups like that along the way as well. But as you know, Eric, the Insurtech, I would say, market has become very saturated, and there's so many Insurtechs popping up these days. How have you or Shift, how has Shift overcome the competition to become a unicorn company today? So really focusing on how you have kind of schemed through all the different competition, all the market, and really rise to the top of it.
So from the start, we've always invested most of our money in our R&D to always improve the product. It can sound natural, but actually, it hasn't been the case of our major competitors. So when we started, a lot of the competitors were I would say big established software editors. And for them, fraud detection in insurance was just one of their use cases, and they were not necessarily putting a lot of R&D in there. So whatever the competition landscape, we've been doing that a lot, which has enabled us to get great results. And so whenever we had, thanks to the great results, and it was the first way with the first clients we had, to have great references to then convince the others. It's, however, not always sufficient to have the best technology, because you don't always have the opportunity to show it. In particular, as our technology, sometimes they ask, can we send you a few claims and you tell us if they are suspicious? It's not possible technically. We need to process usually like 2 or 3 years of data before that. So it cannot just be made like this. So when insurers have asked us to participate in some kind of benchmarks, then every time it was a lot of work, but every time it was a success for us, because we could demonstrate that our performance is significantly other than the others. Otherwise, when there's no benchmark, then in the end, it's even more explanations and providing even more details to convince about the performance of our solution compared to the others.
Awesome. Sounds good. And I do see that we have a couple of questions in like the hop-in chat, so I want to take them as well. So the first question, Eric, over here from the audience: how are you tackling the new challenge of digital identities? For example, screening wallets versus individuals. And
so actually, when we detect fraud, we do it mostly based on the data that the insurer send us. This kind of data, maybe we have one insurer we work with that would send us this kind of data, but not that much today. So it wouldn't be the biggest topic for us right now. But for sure, with time, more and more insurers are able to get us more and more data, because they are firstly collecting more and more data. So I'm sure with time, there will be it will probably become a bigger topic.
Absolutely. You kind of have to evolve as the type of data also kind of change. Another question from Marco over here. So do you kind of find resistance to change during the workshop with the insurance employees? And I know you mentioned, kind of communicating the value and all that, but do you use any particular technique to demonstrate the benefits of your solution?
I wouldn't say it's the biggest blocker. It may be even more the opposite. The users we work with, for example, the fraud handlers in these teams, actually they're quite happy to have people to talk to about fraud, because usually they're kind of a separate team. People don't really know what they do. And so they're happy to see that they have this tool that they can use. And we do everything we can. So we have a lot of our teams working directly with the business teams to make sure that it fits to their needs. So in a way, we prefer to adapt to what they do more than changing how they work. We have more resistance when it's more about if there are some bigger changes in the organization or in the overall processes. And when it gets there, then naturally it comes to, again, this same kind of argumentation about the value added.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And I think it's also kind of similar to what we do at Plug and Play, right? We always want to be the enabler and not, kind of replacing or taking over anyone's tasks or roles. And of course, letting the people within those business units and teams shine. So they are kind of like the superstar, and then us in the background. So they all shift in the background and kind of like supporting them as well. So lastly, I know we're running a little bit short of time. I want to give also our audience a little bit of outlook to the future. Can you maybe share with us, what comes next for Shift and any interesting plans that we can look out for?
Yeah, so I'll mostly first talk about the big extension about what we do for claims. We see this trend in the industry, natural trend. All insurers are going to a kind of an automation first approach to claims, where all claims that can be automated are. But then when there is some kind of complexity, some kind of exception, then it should be sent to some dedicated handler. And in some way, that's how we've progressively, been able to help in that direction with our fraud detection solution, tackling this kind of exception, the ones that are suspicious. But now we've expanded to other types of decisions, other types of products to detect other kinds of exceptions around subrogation potential, around documents as well that might be incorrect or that might deserve a stronger check, in order to have, because insurers are going towards this automation play, and so we provide on top of that the ability to detect all these kind of complex problems, and this is just the beginning of many new topics.
Sounds super interesting. I'm already super curious to see what you guys have planned. And to everyone, do keep your eyes locked on to Shift and see what else they have for the future. But unfortunately, time is short. This is a wrap. Thank you so much, Eric, for joining us today. I really enjoyed our conversation today. I hope everyone in the audience as well. Hopefully, we get to meet in person soon, either in Paris or in Munich. But thank you so much, Eric. I heard actually today that it's I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's chandelier in France. So people eat crepes and stuff. So happy chandelier and to you and everyone dialing in from France. But thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you very much.
And back to Arthur and Laura in the studio.
Yeah, thanks, Jess and Eric. It was very insightful.
Thank you so much indeed. So now we would love to introduce you actually to the real rockstar, the real protagonist of today and of our latest batch. So the startup which took part to our Insurtech 7 program, selected each and all of them by our corporate partner. We had 14 great startups in this program. So a big shout out to Datafolio,
DearEmployee,
Gefen Technologies,
KironTech,
Leadfamly,
Lightico,
MoneyPenny Technology,
Ninebarc,
Nuclicore,
Parloa,
Penny.io,
Plan A,
XUND,
and ZenOwn. And one of the other things that is quite interesting about this batch this year is that for the batch 7, we had quite an international batch, with companies coming from 7 different countries, including Denmark, UK, France, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and Israel. But maybe, Laura, you can tell us a bit more of what happened during this batch?
Absolutely, Arthur. Very happy to do so. So our 14 startups received more than 120 mentorship sessions with industry experts and VCs, just to guide them towards a faster success. They took part to 3 workshops where they learned the best practices on a number of aspects, and they were invited to 6 great events. So our 3 amazing innovation days, and the best practices around table, and the VC speed dating. So I'm very, very proud to say that we had more than 720 unique participants to our virtual events.
Quite impressive numbers. It is no time for the part I think you are all expecting, the startup pitches. I think actually the best way to really understand how those startups are trying to change their industry landscape is really to listen to the story, to understand which kind of pain points or problem they're trying to tackle and with which kind of solution. So with that being said, it's time for our startup pitches. So I would like to introduce the first 8 startups that will pitch today, and more particularly our first startup, DearEmployee, with Henning. So before giving the floor to Henning, I would like just to remind you all that you have the opportunity to ask questions to the startup at any point during the event. So please make use, as you have already started to do, of the Q&A features of Open. Henning, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Great. So you can start sharing your screen.
We can see your screen.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Henning Jacob. I'm co-founder and CEO of DearEmployee. We are a corporate health platform, and our vision is making work a better place. And I'm happy to be here to show you how we enable smart corporate health solutions together with insurance companies. So what's the problem? Right now, the world is changing. First, digitalization, the great pandemic. The change in the working environment has never been stronger than today. And that, of course, has a large impact on employees. All of you will know that. It has a high burden and there's a high mental stress on each employee related to these changes. But what is the exact problem? So this change increased the real mental strain on employees. What we explore from our data is that currently 14% of all employees are at a high risk of burnouts. Each employee reports more than 4 physical complaints, and 1 out of 4 employees actually has a mental health problem on a regular basis. There are also more than 13% other employees who are willing to change their job because they are not happy with their working conditions. As I said, we want to make work a better place. We're a team of engineers, work psychologists, and business experts to help companies to create great working conditions and to improve the health of employees. In detail, we offer custom-tailored health solutions for companies. So we're a platform where you can assess the working conditions and the attractiveness of working conditions. We provide custom-tailored recommendation to each of the target group. And then we also run a marketplace where you can directly book, as an HR person, for example, the greatest solutions out on the market that help your employees to work better and also to stay more healthy. At the end, we're easy and effective, scalable, but we're also 100% legally compliant with labor law standards. Right now, we have more than 250 customers. On the one side, large customers like Zalando, eBay, or even Amazon and AXA. And on the other side, a lot of small and medium-sized companies. The best thing about our platform is that we are effective even with the first year of usage. So when you start working with us as a corporate client, we can reduce the risky working conditions within 1 year by 55%. And we also can reduce the percentage of employees at a high burnout risk by 46%. So you have a great output as a company, even within the first year. So, and how do we work together with insurance companies? So for insurance, we offer additional, we provide the option that you can offer additional services within corporate health plans. For example, we reduce claim expenditures. We also can link our results with other insurance offers. We can also increase the touch points with insurance clients, and we also provide aggregated reports over the whole customer portfolio. I would like to show you 3 use cases that we worked on in the past. So far, first use case, we work with AXA in Switzerland, now even in the second year, within the daily sickness allowance. There, the win of the insurance is that we have, on the one side, we have a claim reduction, but we also provide additional revenue streams in the beyond insurance field to AXA. The second use case is we work the first year now with Hallische, where we provide a sales USP in the competitive corporate health insurance landscape. And the third use case we just started in December is that we provide the public health insurance company BKK VBU with their prevention service teams. And the win for the customer in each of the cases is that all of our DearEmployee services are covered by the insurance plan. And for us as DearEmployee, we get an interesting and exciting customers with a large upgrade potential. And the business model is always that each of the insurances pays DearEmployee with a recurring monthly fee per license. So how did the plug and play program help us in the past month? So first of all, we got an introduction to 5 new insurance partners, and we're currently in further discussion to enhance partnerships. We also created great visibility in the press and in the media, and also in the social media channels. And we also got really exciting contacts through the coaching sessions, for example, to industrial brokers, where we explored also like new channels. And we also explored in the coaching sessions new insurance products to be implemented with. So for example, we take a look at the occupational disability insurance now, which is really great because with DearEmployee, we really have the chance to know what is the exact situation in the company. And then you have the option to redefine the way how insurances are built actually for corporate customers. At the end, we also explored new sales channels, and we take a look at other platforms where we also can integrate our services. So it has a great import, and we're really happy that we had the chance here to work with a plug and play. And we also would like to invite you to partner with us. We're looking for more scalable partnerships, and especially if you're an insurance company, you can take the chance now and provide innovative services in the future together with us. So please contact us and let's talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Henning. Amazing pitch, as always. we all need DearEmployee in these times, I guess. So we have one question coming from the audience for you. With what margin of error are your tools able to separate mental health related problems as the primary cause for absenteeism with respect to other unrelated issues?
Could you repeat that?
With what margin of error are your tools able to separate mental health related problems as the primary cause for absenteeism with respect to other unrelated issues? So I guess like how precise can you understand it's a mental health problem as like rather than
I can't tell you the exact margin of error, but what we do in our system is that we distinguish between the influence from the working conditions on mental health, on motivation, and also on the engagement of employees. So if you, for example, you see bad leadership as a working condition, then you can see, okay, it might have like a large impact on mental health, but only a low impact on the engagement of employees. So and that's where we have a USP compared to other tools or platforms on the market, that you just don't always relate it to the pure engagement scores. We have a more like distinguished approach, I would say. So you can take a decision: do I really want to focus on mental health, or would I rather like to focus on the engagement or being committed to the company's factors?
Thank you so much. Thank you for your replies and for your pitch. Best of luck for you. We wrap it up here and we go with the next startup. We have next up Gefen Technologies. So the platform that enables all the sales agents on the field. Tomer, please unmute yourself and tell us a bit more about Gefen.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Plug and Play, for having me and the Gefen. So I'll just share my screen for a second.
Perfect. We can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So hi everyone. Again, thanks for having us. My name is Tomer Benari, and I'm the COO of Gefen Technologies AI. Well, Gefen started 7 years ago to provide insurance agents a full end-to-end platform that imports customer data, learns it, and acts automatically based on this data on behalf of the agents. Why did it make sense to do that? Like, what was the problem? Well, insurance agents can benefit greatly from automatic customer needs, learning, digital communication with customers, and proactive activity generation, leaving them the time and focus to really work on customer relationships, sales, and service. Gefen actually does all of this for them, collecting their customer data and segmenting it, providing them a professional website that well presents them, send written communication and social awareness to their clients on their behalf, and finally, communicating with their customers digitally. All of this is necessary in today's world, and that's what actually customers expect. However, it is very difficult to accomplish all of those things alone. To learn from such a big data of customer base and do that as it evolves 24/7, in addition, conclude the right insights. Moreover, to master so many digital skills such as SEO and content writing and design and campaign management and lots more, well, for an agent, it does not pay and it is not even possible. It's difficult and expensive. So Gefen provides all of those things out of the box, and that was actually our mission. When evolving over time, we realized that improving and sharpening and easing those verticals will provide the agent a significant competitive advantage. So at Gefen, we developed a scalable solution we decided to partner with carriers and agencies who sell their insurance products through their agents networks to the end customers. Using our technology, we scale complete agent networks to become fully digital in just days. And doing that, we provided in our technologies a multi-layer tier solution. The first tier is actually the presence layer, equipping the agents with a fully branded professional website or a Facebook page, or both, depends. A distribution layer that allowing to distribute on behalf of the agent messages to many channels, such as the social media, messaging platforms, emails, SMS, and all of that is being done in a personal and professional way, while connecting the customers easily to the personal presence layer. We provide a communication layer that provides video chats, text chats, meetings, scheduling capability that works in a real-time fashion. A data learning engine that we call a GQL, which is really learning the genome of the specific client in order to offer the right product at the right time, and by that to provide an accurate service. And finally, we do all of that in an automatic activation layer. So basically, the agent doesn't need to do anything. We are proactively doing things on their behalf. A bit of our results. Well, we learned and improved over the years, and we were also able to learn from enormous statistical data. The system evolved to know what works and what does not. We not only suggest to customers the better products based on their entire financial and insurance portfolio, we also wrap it nicely and communicate on behalf of the agents. As we did that, the digital results of our customers have become 4 times as better compared than what have they done before. But we also made sure that 100% of the agents will do that for 100% of their clients. So this really sort of like boosted up the service and the actual sales that they have to their clients. So in Gefen, we are transforming agents network to become data-driven digital networks. Then we're doing that in a simple and scalable way and on behalf of the agents. So thank you for having me, and I'm open for questions.
Hi, Tomer. Thanks again. It's always a pleasure to have you. We do have one question from the audience. So on average, how much is a company able to increase its NPS rating following the application of your tools?
Yeah, so well, the actual NPS, we had is was really quite high. So when we measured that, it was like roughly 8.5, which is really, really high. And the reasoning is because the tools we're doing, like, are doing things on behalf of the agents. So the things that are happening for them, like, they're learning the client, we're like, sending the right product, the client presses the button, and then it becomes the connectivity, and the agent is actually maximizing the time that he works with the right customers in the right time, right? And at the right moment. So that's why the engagement is such high, because, like, they're using it only when they need to, right? So yeah.
So great. Thanks for the answer, Tomer. It is now time for us to move to the next startup. I wish you the best. So we are going to move towards Leadfamly, a gamification platform that empowers companies to get, keep, and grow their customer. So do we have Richard on the line?
You certainly do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Fantastic.
Share your screen.
That's great. Just sharing my screen now. Fantastic. So thank you very much for having me today. My name is Richard Robinson and I'm from Leadfamly. And I'd like to share with you some thoughts around how to get, keep and grow audiences through the use of game mechanics. Let me start by just introducing us slightly. So we are a software as a service business, and we've developed a platform that enables you to create, build and execute online games that help support your business objectives. The platform has over 30 game concepts built in, taking out any requirement at all for coding. You simply choose the game format that meets your business objective, add your own creative for the whole bespoke look and feel, and then push it out via whichever channel you wish. That might be on your website, in your app, via email, social media and such like. Importantly, we're ISO certified for data security, which gives our 700 or more clients peace of mind in terms of data collection and processing through our platform. We also have more than 70 technology integrations in place to ensure easy implementation across your technology stack. So why have we decided to focus our business on gamification? Well, firstly, it's as humans, we're hardwired to enjoy games. And the fact that these game experiences actually cause a chemical reaction in our brain, which actually positively influence our feelings. If you couple this with a concept called flow theory, which is all about how you concentrate when you're doing a particular activity like a game, there is no better way to drive engagement. As Johann Herzinger, the historian and cultural theorist, once said, we play games because it's in our nature to do so. And so for us, it simply made sense to build a platform to help businesses engage with their consumers and their employees at a very, very human level. And the results really speak for themselves, whether you're looking to deliver an additional 400,000 euros of revenue within 1 week, 500,000 new registrations, over 4.5 minutes engagement time, or 30 times return on investment. The use of gamification is driving everyday business impact. So let me bring this to life with a couple of examples. I'm going to do 2 examples, one in the sphere of marketing and the other in the sphere of HR. The first example is with an organization called Truck, which is the second largest provider of insurance in the Nordics, with products covering all aspects of insurance. A key part of their sales activation is the outbound call center that they have, and they need to keep feeding this with qualified leads. Over recent years, they've noticed that significant decrease in the quality and the quantity of leads that have been coming through traditional channels. So they were really keen to try and understand how to resolve this. And it's particularly important in a highly regulated industry that they have to have extremely strong data compliance. As with all firms in the sector, it's also a relatively low interest category. So driving excitement around the products is always going to be difficult. So in 2020, they ran over 40 game-based marketing campaigns through our platform, which has led to over or almost 140,000 unique registrations. And their prospects have been spending over 10,000 hours interacting with the brand, which is really quite remarkable. You'll see on the right-hand side of the slide, there's some examples of the game types that they've been using across all aspects of their sector, from travel through to car, through to dental insurance. And this quote here from Josephine at the company really highlights the balance that they have to do between achieving, using gamification, but doing it in a traditional industry. But these guys are just one example of the financial services companies we work with. In 2020, our clients in the banking and finance sector ran almost 400 game campaigns across our platform, accumulating an amazing 6 million game plays. The second case I'd like to go through is through a company called Jysk, which is an international household retailer. Their business challenge was how to attract and retain great employees in an efficient and effective way. They are, in fact, existing Leadfamly platform customers on the marketing side of their business, but what they wanted to do is actually trial it to see if it could help HR and recruitment in particular. And so what they did is, firstly, they ran a quiz through our platform with their existing employees to find out their ideal candidate profile. They created this quiz based on their understanding. And from the results of that, they were able then to create a quiz that they then provided to their applicants. Each applicant was then asked to complete the new quiz. And based on their answers, they were then segmented into 3 different streams. Stream 1, those candidates were fast-tracked into an interview process. Stream 2, they were then pushed to the local country job site. And then stream 3 was those that didn't necessarily make the grade, they were declined, but they were also offered a discount voucher for their local JYSK store. Now, in terms of the results out of this, they were quite outstanding. They saw over 124,000 applicants complete the quiz, and their HR team have calculated that it has saved them in excess of 31,000 hours of time to process, to stream, and then to move those candidates forward. The quote here from the client really kind of brings this to life about how easy it was to use this technology platform to drive applications across 28 countries in such a time-efficient and effective way. So, in summary, thank you for your attention. We are working with over 700 brands globally to help them really bring their engagement with their target audiences, whether that be customers or employees, to life. And our customers are engaging with millions of people every day through our platform. Thank you for your attention. If you'd like more information, my contact details are there.
Thank you very much, Richard. We actually have one question coming from the audience. They ask, how effective has gamification proven to be in terms of customer acquisition and cost per lead reduction?
Very good question. We see the vast majority of our clients that use our platform for marketing using it for lead generation. So the tools and mechanisms within the platform are excellent at getting people to lean in and give registration information. As I said, we've seen customers get in excess of 250,000 new data registrations and new leads coming in through using specific campaigns in our platform. In terms of cost per lead or cost per acquisition, again, we've seen some amazing results. Some of our customers have seen a 30 times increase in their return on ad spend from using our platform. And they've also seen a huge reduction in the cost per lead of leads coming through many mechanisms, one of which using gamification actually reduces your advertising costs because of the engagement rate. And also it improves the return on investment you get because the quality of people coming through can be significantly higher as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you for being here with us today.
Absolute pleasure.
Just a little reminder to the audience to click on the poll and to just click on the startups you want to be connected with, and we will collect all your answers and we will afterwards make all the introductions. So next up, we have Amir with Lightico, the SaaS platform that automates all your workflow thanks to EID, electronic signatures, payments, all from your smartphone.
Hi, I'm Gabby Young from Lightico, and today I'll be talking to you about end-to-end customer journeys and why it's so important for you in insurance. A few of the key discussion vectors we're going to cover today is one, dealing with end-to-end customer journeys. Many companies talk about a single point solution, and here we're going to talk about end-to-end, a complete solution for the whole customer journey. Unlike time-consuming heavy digital transformation projects, we're going to be talking about doing it with a light touch, leveraging existing investments in technology. We're going to use the power of SaaS and APIs so it's easily deployed within just a few days. And most importantly, the business will start to see the return on investment almost immediately. So let's talk about the current situation. Customers like you and me are on our mobile phones. We're used to swiping and squiggling messages to get things done, whether it's grocery shopping or scheduling a slot at the gym. So this is how we expect things to be done. But many insurers are just not like that. They've grown up with historical systems, papers, inflexible backend systems, and compliance oversight. The way that some insurers interact with customers really breaks down when they're asked to do things like sign for something, fill in a form, verify their ID, consent to terms, pay off something, or review things together. So in order to overcome that, we've already invested in digital solutions. You may already have a traditional e-sign or secure payment gateway or a portal or even an app. However, these solutions are siloed point solutions. They don't necessarily work together and they still require the customer to go to various different touch points to get things done. And so while we're trying to get an entire process done, things break down. It's broken because yes, they're digital, but they're also silos, which breaks the journey. And worse still, some steps of the process still rely on legacy solutions like paper-based signatures or face-to-face visits. And in the end, customers and businesses just need to complete the journey. So what we see is this. What ends up happening for many customer journeys, for example, new policy sales, they see your website, they call the call center, then the customer is redirected to a portal, they need to validate existing information, and then they're requested to print something out or scan something. It's a long and painful journey. And as we bounce them around different silos, we end up losing them and frustrating our employees. This is what we call digitally incomplete journeys. It's time to speed things up. Lightico digitally completes the entire end-to-end customer journey. Lightico's digital completion cloud merges all the disconnected siloed steps of the completion into a single digital flow to enable customers to complete any action. It's all customer-facing capabilities in one place. A series of capabilities like e-forms, e-signature, ID verification, document collection, payments, and more. We take all of these and create an intelligent, automated workflow. So instead of using a portal, email, or app, all these can be collected through one simple text message. We build automated and intelligent workflows that eliminate all the breakpoints and accelerate the entire process. And when we do this right, our insurance customers see their KPIs immediately impacted, completion rates are increased, abandon rates are reduced, and many, many more. It's very exciting. So let's have a quick look so you can get a taster as to how it works. So as you can see here, we have the insurer, we have the customer, and they are interacting in real time. The customer receives the form, fills it out within seconds, and it's immediately sent back to the insurer. Same with signatures. The customer effortlessly signs on his phone and the insurer has it immediately. He then uploads his ID straight to the insurer quickly and effortlessly. Even takes a selfie for verification, and that's verified. Lastly, the customer just needs to send in a payment, securely pays on his phone, done. As quickly as buying something from Amazon. So what you've just seen is the power of end-to-end digital customer journeys, taking all the siloed solutions that cause friction in your customer journeys and enabling insurers to provide an end-to-end customer journey, leveraging existing investments in technology, and it's SaaS, so it's easily deployed within a few days, of which results can be seen immediately. I've posted the link in the chat so that you can experience it for yourself. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please be in touch, gabby@lightico.com.
Oh yeah, hi, thanks. Amir, we do have a question from the audience. So how does your solution affect customer conversion rate for businesses?
Oh, wow. This is probably one of the number one KPIs that we see. Just to give you an example, this year we worked with insurance companies like MetLife and some others, and we've seen an increase in completion rates, which were amazing, like 20 to 30% completion rates up than what they used to have before, just because they make the entire customer journey so much easier. Customers can provide whatever they need while they're still talking to the agents, both on the sales side as well as reducing handling time and on the claim side.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for the answer. We will now be moving to Miss MoneyPenny technology, which is a solution that allows customers to fully exploit the possibilities of native digital wallet. Do we have Anna on the phone? Yeah.
Yes, hi. I hope you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, we can see it now.
There we go, at the end mark. But I'll start with my pitch then. So, okay. My name is Anna. I'm a co-founder of Miss MoneyPenny Technologies. And in the next 5 minutes, I'll talk a little bit about how to exploit the potential of mobile wallet apps. So obviously the exploitation is super easy if you simply buy our software as a service product. But let me tell you why I think so. We provide companies with an application with which the native wallet apps on your customer's phone can be used for your business processes with these customers. So you can trigger engagement and you can also provide great service. The importance of these apps, and I'm specifically talking about Google Pay and Apple Wallet, as you can see here, is accelerating at the moment, especially also through the pandemic. And with our product, these apps actually become usable for companies. For the insurance industry, the typical use cases are the ones that I have listed here. And we will look at an example for a policy card later on, and I'll show a video, so do stay tuned. I obviously show you this slide to, one, brag a little bit, and also to give you a sense of security when it comes to our product. But there's another point that I'd like to make. We have been successful in other verticals for a while, and we do draw best practices from these industries. But we chose the insurance sector as a main target because we really think that our value proposition fits the current needs of the market perfectly. And here's why. With our product, we actually help you take advantage of the fact that digital wallet apps are already pre-installed on billions of phones. New phones even come with Google Pay or Apple Wallet directly from the manufacturer. And people who pay digitally, they use these apps every day. People use them for other use cases as well, for their airline tickets or when they go to the museum. So these apps are already in use. So obviously there's great potential. And in fact, a number of insurers have already tested this potential, and they now need to take the next step to reap all the benefits that this technology offers. And this is exactly where we come in. We offer companies an application that is based on this technology, but effectively we offer interfaces so employees can easily design whole integrated journeys and even interact directly with users through this communication channel. And we make the whole thing GDPR compliant and secure, and especially make these wallet cards smart and interactive so they can actually release the engagement potential that they have. In fact, many of our clients choose our solution over the option of building yet another app simply because our solution is already on their customers' phones and in use. And also it comes at a much lower cost point, while at the same time offering a very similar value proposition to an in-house app. So I could now talk an hour explaining on how our modules work together to make this happen. But let me just show you what we're doing for a large German insurer when it comes to their car insurance policies. This is actually live, what I'm showing you in a second. And after a very successful pilot, we're currently in the rollout. So here's the video that I promised. I'm sorry, it's in German. With my insurance contract, I receive a digital policy card from my phone. I give my consent and can now quickly set some preferences. So this way, my journey will then be personalized. And the policy card can now send me push messages like this one with individual content. And I can find all my central information about my contract directly on my card, open respective links. So from here, I could change my address, report a claim, etc. My customer journey is personalized, but mostly automated, of course. But we do have this very exciting module we call case management, with which employees can communicate with me, the user, directly. This feature is, of course, extremely exciting for service cases. And with our solution, we are able to lower costs and raise customer satisfaction at the same time. So that's brilliant, and I'm excited about that, as you can probably tell. But I want to show you this other great feature. If I have an accident, I obviously want to share my information, and I can now do so via the QR code on my digital policy card. And this way I can also provide the other party with a service ticket as well, so they can also be guided through the claims process. And that's obviously a great entry point for lowering costs considerably. And as you can see in the last bits of the video, we have all kinds of additional features that help make policy card service tickets and lead nurturing cards more effective, extremely engaging, and also offer a lot of value for the users. But since I've reached my time limit now, I think it's time to meet Mark. He's my co-founder. Just go ahead and scan the QR code on his business card or find my information in our booth. Do get in touch if you're interested in setting up a quick pilot. This generally just takes a few weeks of time. Or if you already have toyed around with this technology and you're interested in turning your efforts into successful user journeys, please also connect with us. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you very much for your pitch. Thank you for being here today. I have one question for you coming from the audience, and they ask, what are the key metrics you and your clients follow to track success and usage of your solution?
That really depends on the use cases. So we have different use cases. For example, service use cases usually go for lowering costs, as I said, and customer satisfaction. So with Audi, we did their emergency hotline, and we actually saved a lot of service minutes. And at the same time, we got a ranking from 4.7 stars out of 5 stars in a happiness ranking. So that's really good. When it comes to other cases that have more of a sales implication, and a policy card can have that, lead nurturing cards do have that, that's what we'll measure in that Cosmos. So it really depends on the use cases. We have different ones. If you're interested, please get in touch and get into more detail. I'll be happy to.
Thank you very much, Anna. Indeed, people, just get in touch, go to the poll button, press on the yes to all the startups you want to meet, so you can also know more and ask all your questions directly to the startups. We are very happy to make the introduction. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you also, Miss MoneyPenny. Let's move on then, and we have Nuclicore next up here with Everard. Please, Everard, tell us a bit more about Nuclicore and the no-code insurance platform.
Thank you. We call it Nuclicore, and it's a no-code platform, and I'm sure you all know the situation. You want to start some new sales initiatives or automate processes or do anything in your insurance organization. And you need a lot of developers, but you don't have a lot of developers. And most insurance companies, they couldn't realize all their projects because of scarce IT resources. And that is not good, of course. So the solution is no code, which is a visual interface where you can build any kind of application or API in record speed and with a very high code quality that is super secure. Also, you don't have to maintain the code. And I'm sure you all know it in your insurance organization. You have old code that you have to refactor, and with no code, because there is no code, it's much easier for you. So we are the enterprise no-code platform tailored to the insurance industry For our customers, it's quite important that they keep their systems as they are, so you don't have to adjust them. You use Nuclicore like a liquid layer that is adapting to your systems. And then business and IT employees build software. So I give you some examples what some of our customers are doing. So the first one is, I'm sure you all know it, neo-insurer Element. It's a German BaFin licensed insurance company. They are very modern. They are API first. But the thing is, the insurance industry itself is not really the most modern industry. That means it's not easy for Element to communicate with partners, for example, broker sales partners. They have a different data format. And it would mean IT projects for Element, even though they are so modern. So with Nuclicore, they don't need IT projects, and they can, in a no-code way, connect to partners, to broker sales partners, also using bPro. They can connect internal systems. They can connect to banks, other data providers for geolocations, and so on. So it's super easy, and they're very happy because their developers, they're using it, and the developers are fans of Nuclicore, and then the developers themselves, for all the manual work and programming, they can more focus on architectural topics. So that's the first example. I also brought a second one. One of our customers, that's TAS. It's a mini Greek company. It's actually a daughter company of Ergo. And here we are talking about business insurance, industrial insurance, and renewals. So every year you have to ask the customers of the brokers of the customers for data. So what they did, they sent out PDFs. The brokers or customers fill out the PDFs and via email sent them back, and then data was transferred manually. And that is not only how TAS was doing it, but how most insurance companies are still doing it today. But TAS changed it. So with Nuclicore, they built a smart form that customers receive automatically. For example, 4 or 6 weeks before the renewal date, they fill it out. It's all dynamic, smart, with automations inside. The data is then automatically transferred to the TAS systems, so they don't need manual work as well. And they are a big fan as well because their employees can now focus on more challenging tasks than copy and pasting information. So we are compliant. We have an enterprise-grade software. Our customers can choose the private cloud they want to host the data in, and these points are important to comply with the VAIT of BaFin in the IDV, which is quite important for insurance companies. So PMP program was great because we got super intros and had great conversations with plug-and-play partners with a lot of learnings on both sides. And we are in deep conversations about concrete use cases. I couldn't show them to you today because, as you know, it always takes time, but soon I will be able to show you some great results. So insurance company use our software.
Hi.
Hi, Bernard. I think you're on mute.
You just muted yourself. Maybe you can unmute yourself. We heard you. We heard everything you said. Okay, now you should be good.
I muted myself, sorry. So use our software. It's enterprise grade, it's compliant, it's great. Developers and business employees are fans, and build application as API super fast with our visual interface. Reach out, email us here, LinkedIn, or over the platform. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Eberhard, for sharing all of this advantage of no code and also like sharing all of this case study. I think it was very insightful. Let me see. So yeah, we do have one question from the audience, which is, how do you differentiate yourself from other no-code platforms?
So most no-code platforms are actually softwares that an insurance company has to introduce. So they have to, for example, start using the software for policy administration, and then they can do stuff in a no-code way. But with us, insurance companies and other players from the insurance industry actually replace manual programming with no-code, and we are not another island solution. But our customers build applications and APIs when they need them. And that's the big difference. And there are not many companies like us around, and we are the only compliant one on the market in Europe.
Okay, very clear. Thanks a lot for the answer. So in the audience, if you want to get connected, please use the poll to tell us. So then we will make the appropriate introduction. Let's now move to Malte from Parloa, which is a very impressive conversational AI platform. And I think Malte will tell us about a specific project also. Malte, are you here?
I'm here, shortly sharing my screen. Can you all see a white screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So thank you very much for the invitation. Very happy to talk about Parloa in more detail today. So before I start about talking about Parloa, I would like to talk about a situation probably all of you have experienced in the past. And unfortunately, this experience still happens way too often. To show you what I mean, let's shortly call the Kronos insurance together. That's an insurance we developed for those demo purposes only, to give you a more hands-on way what I mean. So let's together call the Kronos insurance.
Hi and welcome to the Kronos Insurance. Please press 1 for contract and account data. Press 2 for reporting a claim. Press 3 for invoices and amounts. Press 4 for special offers. Press 5 for other inquiries. Or press 6 to repeat the options.
Sounds familiar to you? Probably yes. Why? Because more than 75% of people prefer to call a company when they have a customer service issue. The challenge is that the experience is still pretty bad in most of the cases. You probably know that at the end of the so-called touch-tone IVR, you forgot the first option, or you just press any button in order to get to an agent as fast as possible. And when you got to an agent, you need to authenticate yourself. You need to talk about your customer number, your birth date, and so on. And then you can talk about your actual problems. And processes like rerouting you to the right agent because you pressed a wrong button, or authenticating yourself, make 30 to 40% of the agent's time repetitive and lame, and obviously increases costs for every organization. Those 30 to 40% represents 26 million minutes that are wasted every single day, and that's just in the insurance industry. 26 million minutes, that's 50 years wasted every single day because agents are doing the same thing over and over again. Doing the same thing over and over again, although they could use the time to solve actual problems of the users. And that's where Parloa comes in. We are revolutionizing the way businesses communicate with their customers. We are using the newest automated speech recognition and natural language understanding technology. We are putting a low-code front end on top of that, so that companies can model their dialogues, their processes on their own, can train the machine learning algorithms on their own to get better every single day. We are doing that for companies like the Ergo, Swiss Life, Helvetia, and many other companies in order to improve different KPIs. For example, the average handling time or the first contact resolution rate. In order to get happier customers on the one hand, and happier agents on the other hand. Let's shortly talk about a return on investment. Let's assume a company has 2 million calls and just wants to automate one single use case, the authentication process, which on average takes about 45 seconds. Then with 2 million calls and just this one single use case, this company can save roughly 1 million euros. So let's call the Kronos insurance again, but this time directly with Parloa.
Welcome to the Kronos Insurance. How may I help you?
Hello, I moved, so I need to change my address. Is that possible?
We can change your address with pleasure. Please tell me your customer number.
Sure, it's BQ8153626.
Let me repeat. BQ8153626. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And when's your birthday?
It's on the 31st of August, 1992.
Thank you. With this, I was able to authenticate you successfully. So what is your new address that I should save in the system?
It's 20 Albany Street in Boston.
So you are now registered in 20 Albany Street in Boston?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Then I enter the change into our system as desired, and you will receive a confirmation by mail within the next few days. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, thanks. That was awesome.
Thank you. And on behalf of the Kronos Insurance, I wish you a pleasant evening. Goodbye.
And that was just one example. You can also just do the routing, just do the authentication process, or an end-to-end process like I showed you. And the cool thing about it, you can reuse the machine learning data, the processes, the backend connections, and reuse it for chat, for example, on WhatsApp, on an in-app chat, an on-site chat, or a Teams chat. And the cool thing about it, with Parloa, every company in the world can build experiences like that. And that's how we all together can save those 26 million daily wasted minutes. And I would like to talk about one company who is already starting to save those minutes. One of our most favorite customers, the Rheinland Versicherung, with Thomas and Luis. By the way, thanks guys for all your support. And a lot of other people from the Rheinland Versicherung. We talked which problems, which challenges we want to solve first. And we came up with two challenges. The first challenge is that agents are routing the customers still manually. And the second challenge is that agents are still authenticating customers manually. And now I would like to show you how we want to solve those both challenges and show you how this sounds. So first example is the automatic routing, which is more or less a free text intent recognition. This is an audio file in German because obviously it's a German bot, but I wanted to show you the experience here.
Herzlich willkommen bei Ihren Rheinland-Versicherungen. Was kann ich heute für Sie tun?
Hallo, ich bin umgezogen und möchte meine Adresse ändern.
Kein Problem. Dafür verbinde ich Sie jetzt umgehend mit unserem Kundenservice. Einen Moment bitte.
So that's the first phase, just routing the customer to the right agent as fast as possible. And the second phase is to also authenticate the customer in order to come to the right agent already authenticated. And how this will sound, I also want to show you.
Herzlich willkommen bei Ihren Rheinland-Versicherungen. Was kann ich heute für Sie tun?
Hallo, ich habe eine Frage zu meinem Vertrag.
Okay, um welchen Vertrag geht es genau?
Meine Hausratversicherung.
Alles klar. Dann nenne mir bitte zur Authentifizierung noch schnell deinen vollständigen Vor- und Nachnamen.
Anna Bauer.
Danke. Und wie lautet dein vollständiges Geburtsdatum?
Der 31.08.1992.
Verstanden. Damit konnte ich dich erfolgreich authentifizieren und leite dich dann jetzt direkt weiter. Einen Moment bitte.
So, if you're also interested in something like that, join the revolution, be part of it. I'm very happy to answer all of your questions and happy to talk to you soon. Just reach out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malte. I hope that when people reach out, there's not the automatic reply, but you actually pick it up. We have two questions for you from the audience, actually, all in once. First is, do you just focus on voice or other omni-channel experiences also? And which languages do you support?
Yeah, so every company can build voice bots on the phone or chat bots, so it doesn't matter. As mentioned in the presentation, you can start with the phone bot and reuse all the training data, the backend connections, the processes on chat. This can be an on-site chat, a WhatsApp chat, and so on. We are supporting more than 100 different languages, so yeah, there's no real limit when it comes to languages.
Thank you so much. I guess all our languages will be there. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Amazing pitch as always. And we move on. And next up, we have Penny.io. with Esben. Esben, are you here? Yes.
Yeah, can you...
Hi, please tell us a bit more about Penny.io and the revolution of embedded insurance.
I will enjoy it. 2 seconds. Let me just get my share screen on. How's everyone doing? I hope you're good. There we go. Thank you very much for having me today. My name is Espen Seifert Sørensen. You can see my screen, yeah?
Yes, we do.
All right, good. My name is Espen Seifert Sørensen. I have the pleasure of introducing Penny.io to you. And as you can see from this, we're working within embedded insurance. Let's start off with talking about what is embedded insurance. Embedded insurance is nothing new. In the insurance industry, we've been selling insurances through B2B2C channels for years. What the new part is, what makes embedded insurance as a buzz really interesting, is the digital aspect. We're seeing at the moment a huge increase in customers engaging themselves online with brands, may that be cars, e-commerce, unions, banks, you name it. No surprise here. Everyone's on the web researching, looking, and purchasing different products and services. And here's the market opportunity. There's a huge market opportunity for insurers to piggyback on these investments and help make their boring product. I'm sorry to say, I am from the insurance industry, but insurance is boring. No one wakes up and thinks about insurance, as our good friend Simon says. Make it more interesting and get insurance into the customer mindset at an earlier stage. And why is this a good idea? It increases revenue, GWP growth, or reduced acquisition costs. And let's just be clear, this is not a revolution. We're taking existing omni-channel distribution models, we're combining with marketing and getting closer to the customers. That's all what this is about. At Penny, we've defined 3 strategies for embedded insurance. We have a bundled, where insurance is hidden away, packaged in with another product. We have linked, where we're using a point of sales. So where you're going and buying something on apple.com, or if you're on Amazon, there's a good hyped website. When you buy something, you get prompted to buy an insurance. And then related. Related is really interesting because it's changing the marketing space. It's changing how you're integrating with your customers, how you're presenting insurance, and where to sell. You're changing a non-point of sale to a point of sale. Absolutely lovely. During the last 3 years, where we've been live, we've seen 5 typical barriers on embedded insurance. So a lot of companies wanting to do this, but why do they not succeed? First thing is, if you go to your partner and you want to start selling insurance and you give your partner an IT project, the partner goes and looks at that backlog of IT projects and they figure out which one do they have to stop. You don't want to do that. You want to have a simple, speedy integration. We solved that in the platform. Also, if we look at the way insurance has been sold the many last years, if it hasn't been through aggregators where you're just reducing the price, you don't really know how customers are engaging. Google has made shitloads of money, sorry my language, on the advertising insurance word. Now, you lack knowledge there. You need to understand how consumers are acting. We've solved that in a platform. We have plus 12 years of online sales of insurance. Core systems legacy is an old word in the Insurtech space, but yes, a lot of insurance companies are investing millions of euros into the development of their claims processes, the policy processes. We're doing great stuff out there for customers. Where does online distribution come there? Pretty low down the list, because it doesn't have a short-term impact the same way as optimizing a claims process. Then there's a whole legal IDD part. At the end of the day, you have to get a project up and running internally. We try to fix that all in Penny Connect, because apart from offering a software as a service, we offer expert advice. We call it expert advice because we've been doing nothing else for the last 20 years of our careers on how B2B2C channels work, how integration works. We give you access to data, how you work with that data, always with an end goal of optimizing your sales conversion. If you're not selling, we're not success. You shouldn't be working with us. Luckily, we are, so we'll get back to that. We've been around for 5 years, 3 years with the platform. We have some great brands working with us. We really enjoy. We also have 2 new brands we're very excited to share with you, but not today. It will be during the next short time. Compliance, security, in order to work together, we have to get through your IT compliance. It is not a problem. We have gone through some rigorous ones and been approved. 2 great user cases. Related embedded. We work with a great company called Tryg. Tryg has a great bank insurance program with Danske Bank. Danske Bank wants to sell insurance at any digital spot. Tryg already had a digital customer journey for motor insurance. We took that, and after discussing a bit of compliance, copy-pasted it and was live within a day. Ivoli did a Shopify deployment with no developer resources. This is very much focused on the ease of implementation which the Penny Connect platform offers. What about performance? Thank you very much for Julia from Troik for sharing this in the beginning of the year, sharing that Troik last year for certain partners raised their sales by 60%. These are great numbers, very proud of it. Thanks to the cooperation, Troik. So if you want to work with us, what do we do? You have a lot of stakeholders to work with on embedded insurance. You have IT, you have digital, you have underwriting. What we would do first is start having a scoping meeting on the customer journey. What product are we selling? What partners are we selling at? Where to sell? We bring to the table some experts on underwriting and on customer behavior. We run through your questions, your killing questions, your tariff, your variables. We understand your product. Next day, please bring someone from your IT. IT is key here because you do have a core system. We have to understand how that works. We have to understand payment provider, e-signature, and so forth. That's all we talk to on day 2. And day 2 is probably a bit roughly said. The first workshop takes about 3 hours. The second workshop, 2 hours. Day 4, it's a 3-hour workshop again. We're preparing a business case. We're looking into which partners you'd be selling and what you'd be selling. We sum this up in a presentation, get some feedback. You can take a decision on embedded insurance within a week. Thank you very much for Edwin from Shidich Capital, who's run through one of this during the January. This is what he learned. Customer journey. We reduced the questions to price by 40%. This is key when you're selling online. You have 8 seconds to engage a customer online. And also, we did not touch your underwriting. The Shadid underwriting is untouched, and that is absolutely beautiful for underwriters. IT teams had some great discussions. We have a clear overview of tasks and dependencies. We can be live in 6 weeks. Everyone's happy. And the business case is very transparent. We know what we bring to the table, and the Shadid team know what they have to bring to the table of marketing activities. Thank you very much again, Edwin. It was an absolute pleasure. Our commercial model is not interesting before we start talking details. Let me just say the goal is to reduce your acquisition costs and enable a win-win. If we're not reducing acquisition costs, we're failing. We have a great visionary industry experienced team, been around for many years, some young, some old. They know what they're doing. What have Plug and Play achieved with us? Thank you very much, Plug and Play. New opportunities, absolutely great. You supported us in talking about embedded insurance. Thank you. Supported us in awareness. And you gave me at least a mini Oktoberfest I will never forget. Thank you very much, Plug and Play. Pay.io.
Thanks, Ben. It's always a pleasure to have you pitch. We do have a few questions for you. We won't have time to cover all of them, but feel free to answer them later on the chat. But let's tackle 2 of them. So how do you charge customers? And how easy is it to integrate it into downstream system? And do we need to create data dumps?
Okay, let's start on the last one on the integration. I think it's no one can sit here and say, oh, it's really easy. It only takes a minute. You know, it depends very much on where your core system at, how much well-developed are your APIs, and what customer journey you're looking into. What we've experienced is the quickest launch we did was 9 days for pet insurance. The longest launch has taken us 8 weeks because the insurer needed to develop some endpoints. What we can see at the moment, and some of my team are going to hate me for saying this, but it is what we've proven that when we really work at our side, we can be done in 3 weeks. What typically happens is resources from our partner side, from our insurer's side, creates a lack in the process. And that's the way it goes. So it's different from case to case. So what was the first question, Arthur? I forgot.
It was how do you charge customers?
Yeah, so we're software as a service. So but as I showed before, we're looking at reducing your acquisition costs. We sell at the same price as other channels. So if your agents are selling a product for €100, we're selling a product for €100. We look at what your cost of sales are, and then we reduce that, and that's where the win-win comes in. You can either be making more money on your technical result, or you can giving customers more discounts, up to you. So it varies from case to case. But I think the key point is here, one thing is after we go through IT procurement and we become a certified partner, we transfer them to become a commercial partner. So we have a customer success department working closely with marketing and sales. How do we increase conversion? How do we develop these customer journeys? So we do have a success fee element in it, which means we're typically very low on entry cost. And if you do well, we do well, everyone's happy. If not, well, we have to work harder.
Okay, great. That was very clear. Thank you a lot, Esben, for this great pitch. And
Merci
thanks
beaucoup.
to all of the 8 startups that pitched today for our general startups. It is now time to move to a little break. But before going into this 30-minute networking break, I would like to introduce you to Olivia. So Olivia has been scribbling since the beginning of the event. Maybe, Olivia, you can share your screen?
So from the very beginning, she started basically drawing everything around what we've been said, around the startups, around us. Wow.
Yeah,
Can you zoom a bit back? Wow.
that looks great.
That looks nice.
So for everyone in the audience, as of now, we're going to take this 30-minute break. So either you can stay on the main stage, look live, all Olivia's work is progressing, or you can go for a coffee, maybe stretch a bit, join some of our networking session, and we'll see you in 30 minutes.
See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. We hope you had a very nice break. You managed to grab a coffee, to have a walk and refresh a bit. Just a little reminder for you, this is the last chance to get in contact with our general startup, the panel you saw before. So just go to the poll section and click yes to all the startup you want to meet.
Yeah, and we are very excited now to move on to our pilot showcase. So we will show you in a minute this pilot that was done between Michel Helper, co-founder and CCO of Pathmate Technology, as well as Elena Jan and Stefan Herman, respectively cooperation manager and developer of health programs at Generali Health Solution. They will walk us through the pilot, what was the initial goals, the result, and in the end, what came out of this pilot. So please look at the pilot right now.
Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in Europe as well as worldwide. It's also associated with the majority of healthcare costs globally. One specific high-risk subgroup within the cardiovascular disease cluster are people with hypertension. Today, we'll discover how insurers can successfully implement such digital therapeutic solutions to protect the health of their policyholders. Cardiovascular disease is an overarching term for medical conditions affecting the circulatory system, like the heart and blood vessels. It's commonly associated with an abnormal buildup of fatty deposits on the inside walls of a person's arteries. Some of the most common diseases that affect the circulatory system include heart attacks and strokes. Each year, cardiovascular disease causes 3.9 million deaths in Europe and over 1.8 million deaths in the European Union. Specifically in Germany, cardiovascular diseases are the leading cause of death, accounting for a total of approximately 40% of all deaths. So, what exactly causes cardiovascular diseases? There are a lot of different things that can increase one's risk of getting cardiovascular diseases. These are called risk factors. The more risk factors you have, the greater your chances of developing cardiovascular diseases. Let's hear from Stefan Herrmann, developer of health programs from Generali Health Solutions, on the varied causes of cardiovascular diseases.
There are several causes of cardiovascular disease. Hypertension, also known as high blood pressure, is one of the most important risk factors. Apart from that, we are also looking at other factors such as smoking, high cholesterol, diabetes, inactivity, obesity, diet, as well as alcohol consumption, age, and also genetics. Amongst all the distinct factors, we decided to narrow down our scope and really focus on helping our patients with hypertension. Hypertension itself is already a highly prevalent disease, with almost 30% of all adults in Germany suffering from it. Under normal circumstances, hypertension can be well controlled through medication, a healthy diet, and endurance training. However, a hypertensive individual is lacking medication adherence and is not following a specific diet, the risk for cardiovascular disease increases exponentially.
Treatments for hypertension can be time-intensive and extremely costly. Generali Health Solutions was already successfully deploying several phone-based personalized coaching programs for individuals with chronic diseases, with the likes of diabetes or chronic back pain. Being at the forefront of health programs, the team at Generali Health Solutions made it their clear goal to expand their offerings into hypertension and help their policyholders in this area. Helena Jan, Cooperations Manager at Generali Health Solutions, shares with us what the team had in mind for the hypertension market.
Generali Health Solutions is part of the international Generali Group, a key player in the global insurance industry. We are a provider of effective health programs that can be used by policyholders in companies and other institutions. We have already implemented phone-based personalized coaching programs for diabetes, chronic back pain, and heart failure. Although these phone-based programs are highly effective, they are labor-intensive, costly, and more suitable for a smaller target group that consists of the very sick. For this hypertension use case, our objective is to offer an app-based behavioral change solution that is scalable. The idea is to provide these patients with a simple and easy way to access health coaching that does not require personal coaching over the phone.
To learn about how this might work in practice, they have partnered with Pathmate Technologies, a startup from Switzerland. Pathmate Technologies was founded in 2017 as a spin-off from the Center for Digital Health Interventions, a joint initiative of ETH Zurich and the University of St. Gallen. Their technology and approach of digital coaches is based on years of research, and the success of digital coaching has proven in numerous scientific studies.
With the help of the team at Pathmate, we were able to tailor their program offerings within the product Manoa app to the needs of our policyholders. This project aims at reducing the blood pressure of the patients, influencing lifestyle adoption of healthy nutrition, and increasing mobility. Engagement of the patients is also important to ensure consistency in the effectiveness of the program. Therefore, patient feedback was extremely important during the testing phase.
Some of the biggest challenges insurers face in launching such digital health programs is digital engagement and adoption. There is an abundance of digital health applications or digital therapeutic solutions, but not all of them are able to use the right methodologies to achieve high rates of customer adoption and frequent engagements with the app. As co-founder and CCO of Pathmate Technologies, Michelle Hepler explains, engagement with digital programs has inherently been a challenge.
User adoption and engagement is a challenge in realizing the full potential of digital health. We at Pathmate tackle this challenge by combining behavioral science concept, the power of data, and smart devices. Manoa is not just another management app, but a digital coach proactively guiding and supporting people in managing their hypertension in everyday life. Each coaching journey is unique and tailored to the patient's health condition, behavior, and preferences. Thereby, Manua creates personal relevance for each user, motivating them to achieve their individual health goals. We are very proud that Generali Health Solutions and their policyholders can now benefit from the highly personalized and scalable coaching of Manua.
By offering the Manoa app to their policyholders with hypertension, all these patients need to do is to register via the Generali Health portal and download the Manoa app to get access to the coaching programs. With one single app, patients are supported with the correct measurement of their blood pressure and are given personal recommendations for their measured values. Patients can easily record their readings using a smartphone camera or connected blood pressure monitors and share their blood pressure reports with doctors during a visit to the practice. The Manoa app also motivates patients to lead a healthy lifestyle with individual goals for nutrition, exercise, and relaxation by producing tips in the form of videos, articles, and audios so that patients can learn more about their hypertension journey.
4 months into the program, we were able to draw some initial findings around the target group using the Manoa app. Despite being a digital solution, interestingly enough, the average age of the program user is 63 years. This is exceptionally encouraging to us, as our team had doubts about the acceptance of an app-based health program amongst the elderly group with chronic diseases. Apart from the segment over 60, the app is also extremely popular amongst the age groups 45 to 60.
In terms of gender analysis, men sign up twice as often as women. This is encouraging, as studies have shown that men are more prone to suffering from cardiovascular diseases than women.
Additionally, it is very encouraging to see that the Net Promoter Score for the first 4 months of the program was over 64, showing that the users really enjoy using Manua, also the older ones.
This is the opportunity for insurers to expand their offering and thus value add to their customers. Pathmate enables exactly this and can therefore not only help patients to better their health status and make treatment easily accessible, but also reduce the burden on the healthcare system for taxing treatments and aid in reducing insurance claims in the long run. Coupled with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the use of health apps and digital therapeutic solutions have skyrocketed. This trend is expected to continue through the next few years and will most likely be boosted with the increasing consumer need for convenience and digital services.
In summary, we believe in a future where digital health coaches can be leveraged to enable personalized and scalable support for people with chronic conditions, helping us to empower them to live healthier and happier lives.
Thank you so much. Really amazing. I really find incredible how much innovation can be really fostered by finding the right partner. If you want to know more about this story, in the chat there is the link to the full case study. Feel free to download it and read it through. Let's now go back to our rockstar and let's continue with the startups of life and health.
Yes, and let's welcome Tom from KironTech, a tool to prevent fraud, abuse, waste, and errors in health insurance. Tom, are you here?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Excellent. Right, I'll kick off. So we are KironTech. We specialize in medical payment integrity. Medical payers lose £1 trillion each year paying illegitimate medical claims. That's a big number that hits us all in the pocket, either as a taxpayer when we fund public health insurance, or as a private payer of private insurance. By some estimates, 25% of all medical claims are wasteful, and the term in the industry for this waste and everything else around it is FWA, or fraud, waste, and abuse, and that's an acronym that you'll hear a few times in this presentation. Identifying FWA is manual, costly, and time-consuming, which is why it's a problem that continues to persist. Insurance companies would love to be able to tackle this problem, but typically, and perhaps surprisingly, they lack the in-house capability to deliver on long-term software projects. They're obviously very well funded. Insurance companies are very large with deep pockets, but the corporate culture typically does not lend itself to software development, especially in projects where the timelines are very long. So by the time the projects end up being delivered, either the budgets have run out, the projects have not delivered what they set out to deliver, or simply they've now become obsolete because industry has moved on for so fast around them. Now, in terms of KironTech products, we can get up and running in months instead of years. Our solution works. It's proven and battle tested. And instead of spending millions on in-house projects, we can get up and running with a base fee of about $250,000. We are laser focused on medical insurance. We are geographically agnostic. We work across all qualities of claims data, especially important outside of the US. We cross-reference peers' medical knowledge. Our rules are customizable. Our installations are flexible. We can integrate with your entire workflow. And we have an expert team of fraud experts and medical doctors backing up the product and our relationship with you as a customer. Now, this is an example of what the product actually looks like. You're looking at a screen where we're looking at, this is a made-up example of a hospital where you can instantly in one go see if their behavior is in line with their peers. We call this outlier analysis, and this is dynamic, and we can react to any kind of system with it. In terms of other analytics, we also offer time series and behavioral analysis over graphs, which is very difficult to, of course, do without an integrated tool. In addition to the analytics, we offer a integrated dashboard for all of your in-house data, and we find that with our customers, they find it's easier often to access their own data via the KironTech tool and portal than it is doing their own, due to proliferation of different kinds of databases across these organizations that we typically deal with. Our technology is 95% accuracy, which means low rate of false positives, which is important when resources are scarce. We have an in-depth medical database which aggregates multiple sources, and we are backed up by 50 or more than 50 years of FW expertise. Again, a mixture of FW experts and investigators and medical doctors. To sum it all up, we are KironTech, we are medical specialists, we're data quality agnostic, we are geography agnostic, and we offer seamless integration with your systems. And we're here to help you with your payment integrity, and we are a specialist in that area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom. Super interesting pitch. Thank you for being here with us today. So we have a question for you. What distinguishes you from other competitors in the space, like more generalist one, for example?
That's a really good question. So, for example, the generalist, there are obviously some very big names in that space. So SAS, for example, offers a health insurance analytics solution. But like I said very, very quickly in the lightning speed presentation just now, we specialize in medical. So we don't do any other kind of fraud analytics, for example. Medical is one of those places where domain expertise is of paramount importance. So it is very, very difficult to do this just with generalist AI. You need your doctors in place. You need your fraud investigators in place. It's a very, very complex space. And that's really what our edge is that we combine the domain expertise with a cutting edge machine learning and AI understanding.
Perfect. We have a last question for you. The audience asks, what are the main anomalies and behaviors that your solution has identified so far that led to fraud detection or further investigation?
Well, you're going to love this one, but we actually found we found a hospital that did not exist.
Wow.
It was a hospital that had billed about $3.5 million worth of claims to an insurance company, and it was really literally just a field of sand. So there are all kinds of anomalies. I think a quick answer to that is any anomaly can be an indication of a wider issue with the claims. So it's for us to find those little wobbles that then point to the bigger wobbles that allow our customers to spend their resources most efficiently by looking at when we already give them the needle, they don't have to go to the haystack.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us today. And to the audience, make use of the poll button. Just click on the right and get connected to all our amazing startup we have here today. Next up on the line, we have Ninebarc, the all-in-one afterlife planning solution. Cedric, are you here with us on the line.
I'm here with you. Hello.
Hi, Cedric. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great, thank you. Can you share your screen?
I'm right on it. 1 second. You see what I see, a presentation?
No? Oh, now we do. Perfect.
Now you do. Great. So listen, everyone, I brought bad news and I brought good news. I kick off with the bad news, and that is that at one point, you're all going to die. But the good news are that today you're alive and you can plan ahead. So my name is Cedric. I'm here with Ninebarc today, and we are the end-of-life planning software for you. If you ever think about it, do you actually have a will at home, a patient decree, or a healthcare proxy? Have you ever targeted those topics? And if not, why? Consumers are actually struggling with end-of-life planning because it's time-consuming, expensive, and they just don't know where to start. At the same time, financial institutions are missing out on great business opportunities in this field. This is why we navigate users through estate and end-of-life planning while creating digital touchpoints, consumer insights, and data points for our B2B customers. We have our platform, our software on the one side that is for the use of the end user, and we can integrate certain products and touchpoints or even content of our B2B partners, which can be also offered as a white label solution. So let's take a look at the product from a user's perspective. On the left side, you see a smart legacy plan, which is basically a smart checklist that walks you through 10 categories of end-of-life planning, and you can keep track of your progress with this bar. Next to it, you see our document generators, which include the will generator, a patient decree generator, and a healthcare proxy generator. And we all top that up with a digital safe that your beneficiaries can access in case something happens to you, and they are able to act in that case. So from a B2B customer's perspective, we are a value-added service provider. We collect data points, if you want it, about your customers and promote the right products to them. Take a look here. This is an example of our white label solution that we integrated with the Idealversicherung. It can be endorsed corporate identity, easily set up within a few weeks. Also, at the same time, we do customer segmentation and cluster customers in different groups. So we better understand your customers. We can boost sales by only offering the compatible products to them. And if you wondered how our business model looks like, we charge our B2B customers a fee for every user that is entitled to access the platform. There's no risk of upfront payments, yet maximum scalability. If you choose to go with a white label solution, there will be small to medium-sized charge for the setup fee, and sometimes we also charge a flat fee per month. Depends on the level of integration. Well, I would like to thank everyone in the program. It's been a pleasant journey, and I hope to start a couple of more pilots in the next weeks with all the partners. And if you want to reach us, those are our contact details. And now happy to answer your questions as well.
Thanks, Cedric. It was a great pitch. We do have one question from the audience. So what is the current target persona, and how do you expect this demographic to change in the next years?
The current target persona is actually young digital families that are 30 plus, also that have experienced a certain life event. So that could be marriage, the birth of a child, or even the loss of a loved person. And we expect actually that the younger generation Z is actually more aware of the importance of end-of-life planning. They grow up with the digital assets and are all surrounded by them the whole time, and they know how important it is to prepare everything and preserve that.
Great, thanks a lot. It was a pleasure to have you today. We'll now move to our third Life and Health startup. Bye. And I would like to welcome Thomas from XUND. And this is the AI-powered health assistant that checks all of your symptoms. Thomas, are you here?
Yes, hi. So let me quickly share my screen with you guys. So just a second. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can now.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, hi everyone. I'm Tamas. I'm one of the 3 co-founders and the CEO of XUND. And in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to briefly tell you about our company and our vision for the future of healthcare. Let's start with the problem of healthcare. So healthcare systems globally are put under tremendous pressure from different angles. On the one hand, you have demographic changes like aging populations. At the same time, people are losing their ability to make appropriate decisions in medical questions, and new pressure from COVID and other areas is putting healthcare systems under tremendous need to become more efficient in general. And one of the ways to become more efficient as a healthcare system is to digitize the patient journey. However, most patients, when you ask them about their digital patient journey, they tell you that they consult up to 70% of internet users actually regularly consult up to Googles in medical questions. And if you've done this in the past, you know that the quality of information you typically receive is rather questionable. And this means that patients are even more confused and led to make wrong decisions. And we believe there must be a better alternative. And this is what we have created with XUND. With our software as a service, healthcare companies can create their own digital patient journey in a medically relevant way. This happens in 4 steps. First of all, the unstructured patient data about symptoms, about the profile, about pre-existing conditions of the patient are structured so they can become analyzable and interpreted, based on which interpretations can happen, like what can be the potential cause for the problems of the patient, based on which actions can be taken, like linking the patient to the right telemedical consultation, sending them to the right doctor, or sending them to the pharmacy. Now, this can be relevant for a number of different players in the healthcare ecosystem. First of all, insurance companies can better navigate patients to the right solutions within their portfolio. Also, electronic health record and telemedicine providers who interact digitally with patients can benefit from pre-qualifying patients before the actual interaction with the doctors happen. Hospitals are opening up new digital channels when accepting patients into the houses. And also pharma companies are thinking about ways how to digitize their portfolio and create new offerings on top of their existing pharmaceutical and diagnostic products. And tech companies who are basically serving these other 4 verticals are also potential clients of ours, because they want to serve the needs of insurance companies and pharma companies better by integrating our solutions into their system. Now, since launching our B2B product in Q1 of 2021, we managed to convince a number of globally leading healthcare companies to join us on our journey to digitizing the patient journey. First of all, the VN Insurance Group was one of our first B2B clients in Q2 last year, who started working together with us. In summer last year, we won 2 major tenders, one with Generali, who are now building Generali Health Solutions healthcare app using our technology, as well as an international tender of a US-based big tech company. At the end of the year, we launched our first use case with the Semmelweis University Hospital in Budapest, as well as today announced, we closed our first investment and partnership with Rox Health and Roche, with whom we're going to work on employing our algorithms in the pharma business. Now, our key to success and market leadership is based on 3 core principles. First of all, we build our algorithms with a smart combination of human and artificial intelligence. This means that we are employing our in-house artificial intelligence tool called Disco to mine the entire PubMed Central database, which is more than 2 million medical articles, and extract information about the correlation between symptoms and illnesses from that large data set. At the same time, we have worked from the very beginning with a quality first mindset. This means that we knew from the beginning that XUND is going to become a medical device. And as part of that, we have been among the first healthcare companies, digital healthcare companies in Europe, also to pass the audit for the Class 2A medical device certification in summer of last year. We also have built the only all-access gateway in our industry, which means that all our services are accessible through an easily integratable API solution. that can be basically plugged into any digital front end of our partners. Now, looking at our team, we are currently approaching 30 employees in our 2 offices in Vienna and Budapest. The 3 co-founders, Zoltan, Lucas, and I, we know each other for more than 20 years, and we have filled all our key positions in the company with really strong individuals who are with us from the early days of the company. We also have very strong partnerships with universities, companies from the healthcare sector like Time, who are providing content for our solution. We're looking into ways how to use data coming from wearables with companies like Garmin, and obviously our membership in the Plug and Play Accelerator is also one of the biggest achievements of the last year. If you want to know more about how we are digitizing the patient journey and how you can join us on this, I'm happy to answer all your questions. Please feel free to reach out, and also if you have any questions now, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Tamás. I have a question from you coming from the audience that asks, which are the legal implications of providing medical information and digitally suggesting health solution to the patient?
Yeah, so it's important to understand that what we provide is not a medical diagnosis. From a legal perspective, only a human doctor can provide a diagnosis, at least in Europe. So what we provide is information and the baseline to make decisions for the patient. What we obviously must not do is to confuse the patient and try to lure them into thinking that what we provide is a diagnosis. So everyone who goes through the journey is informed correctly about this by our algorithms. Now, at the same time, we have to do whatever is necessary to ensure that the quality of the recommendations and the information we provide is as high as possible. And that is why we have chosen to go down the road of becoming a medical device manufacturer. And that is why we invest so much into medical research and quality management that everything that our patients receive from our system are of the highest quality.
Well, thanks a lot, Tamás. We actually have a lot of questions coming for you. That's great. Again, for the people from the audience, please make use of this Q&A to ask as many questions as possible. So let me see. I guess the next one would be, what are the benefits of an insurance to work with XUND?
So basically, an insurance company can look at this from 3 angles. I would probably say the lowest hanging fruit is to look at it as a marketing tool, because you are creating new digital tools that can access new customer groups, but that's probably too short of a thought, because actually what you're doing is you are creating the future of navigating your insurance clients to the right solutions within your portfolio. So if you create a journey using XUND, you basically open up a funnel which can allow access to any of your insurance clients with a newly emerging medical problem to enter this digital patient journey and be navigated to an app which you might have in your portfolio, to a telemedical provider which you have covered in your insurance, to a specific doctor or health center which you have a partnership with, and really streamline the flow of patients to the right services. And last but not least, there's also obviously a lot of data insights which you can generate, not from a single user. We have very high standards on protecting personal information. Actually, our algorithms work completely without any personal information, personally identifiable information of the user. But what you can get is an insight into all the problems which your patients have when they are not yet in the healthcare system. Only around 20% of medical problems actually end up at the doctor. And we provide a window into the remaining 80% based on which insurance providers can streamline their offering, cut off the long tail of solutions which are actually not needed, and really gain a massive competitive advantage.
Amazing. Thank you so much. One other question for you coming from the audience. They ask, so which country do you plan to be active by the end of 2022? So where are you currently active and where are you expanding?
We have focused so far heavily on the DACH region and also slowly started to, sorry, do you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We don't see
the browser.
You anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It just got an error message that the browser has lost connection to the camera. Okay, you will have to live with my voice then. So we are focused on the DACH region and some Eastern European countries in the last year, and we are now starting to focus on the rest of Western Europe. So Italy, France, and UK will be the 3 focus markets for us this year. But from a legal perspective, given that we have a European certification as a medical device, we can actually enter any market, and we can deploy XUND in a new language within 6 weeks. We are, by the way, also now going through FDA approval, which we expect to receive by the end of Q1. So yeah, in theory, the US would also be a market which we could approach as of the second quarter.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Thomas. You really allowed us to wrap up the full life and health topic and just to focus on the last group of startup pitching today. And for this, we would like to welcome on stage Bart from ZenOwn, the only one after purchase platform. Are you here? Oh, we can see you already. Hi, Bart.
Hi guys. Great to be with you. Great
Good to have you here. Yeah, we can see you.
Perfect.
We don't see your screen yet.
So let me just share my screen and tell you a little bit about ZenOwn. So I'm just going to share my screen.
Let's see.
Can you guys see my presentation?
Yes,
we can see.
We see.
Okay, great. So like I said, great to be at the Plug and Play event. Hi everyone, I'm Bart from ZenOwn, the product assistant platform. A little bit of background about us. So over the last 10 years, we've seen immense digital transformation where consumer experience has been massively simplified and elevated with services such as Spotify that put all of your music in one place and really simplified your life. Likewise for travel with Kayak, and Amazon put all your shopping in one place. But when it comes to post-purchase, the consumer is pretty much left on their own. Nothing has changed since the 1950s. And we're here to revolutionize that. We're bringing a platform where you can put all of your products in one place. So together with partners, we're building an ecosystem to make product ownership smooth and easy. What does that mean? The user can track all of their products and receipts. They can insure their product. They have a visibility on their warranties to track them. And they have access to user manuals, tips and tricks. They can purchase accessories and many more services. So we are simplifying the ownership of durable products for consumers, be it a washing machine, a bicycle, or a digital camera. We are soon rolling out an on-demand insurance together with Generali in Switzerland to allow users to only insure products when they're using it. So for example, for a bicycle or a camera and several other product categories, insuring your product for the weekend or for holidays is going to be as simple as just tapping the screen to turn it off and then on once you're done using it. Insuring products has never been easier than with our new product, which is called embedded insurance at point of sale. It's as simple as putting a QR code that advertises your insurance at a point of sale with a retailer, be it a shelf, be it the checkout, and then the consumer just scans the QR code. We ask them to take a picture of the receipt. From the receipt, we recognize the product that they purchased, and we can offer them the relevant insurance. It's as simple as that. It takes 30 seconds. And we can offer it for you, for your retail partner of your choice, as a white labeled solution anywhere in Europe and tailored, embedded to their product offering. And why do retailers love the embedded insurance? Well, it increases their sales because now every consumer that goes through the store can get offered the insurance. It also allows them to track the consumers throughout the consumer life cycle. So when the insurance runs out, they can remind them to extend it or purchase a new one. And also, it means that their staff can focus on selling products and they can decrease the costs of training staff to sell insurance, as well as it just being very simple to execute. As you've seen from the example before, it's really as simple as putting a QR code with the right call to action in the right place so that your consumer sees it. And for the consumer, it's very convenient and easy to purchase, as you've seen. Just take a picture of the receipt and we offer you the correct insurance. It's 100% digital, there's no paperwork, and they have all the information in one place. So our team is a mix of tech and business. Our CTO has been working for successful startups in Silicon Valley with successful exits. He's been building consumer-loving apps, which gained Apple's Editor's Choice Awards. Our CEO, Blaž, and myself, we're from the brand side. Blaž has been working for Brown P&G, and myself for Reckitt Benckiser. And now we are helping brands solve the problems that we know very well. In terms of traction, we've seen very strong traction with 14 signed brands, 13 insurance companies, and 4 fintech and service. We've been part of 2 plug-and-play batches, and we've just crossed 10,000 users and have been twice featured on Product Hunt. We raised a seed funding round of 1.8 million euros, which was 3 times oversubscribed, with leading European business angels and VCs. Here's a part of our team. I'd love to talk to you, so please drop me a line at bart@zenown.com. I appreciate your time, and now I'd love to take your questions.
Yeah, thanks, Bart. I'm sure that your solution resonates to a lot of people in our audience. We do have a question for you. So are you planning to increase the number of products that can be insured through the platform? And if yes, what are the expectations for the year to come?
Yeah, absolutely. So on our platform, consumers can save any kind of a product that they like with a focus on durables, because that's where we bring them the most usability. And we work with insurance companies to offer insurance for the products that are being insured. So we can cover a very wide variety of product categories, pretty much anything that the insurance company in a given market wants us to offer.
Okay, that's clear. Thanks a lot for your time, for the great pitch, and for this answer. We'll now be moving to the next startup. So I would like to invite Alexander from Plan A, the carbon accounting tool that measures the impact of your business. So Alexander, are you here? Yeah, I can see you.
Yes, I'm here. Great to see you, everybody. Pleasure to be here. And I'm going to take you through what we do at Plan A.
Sounds good.
So please confirm if you can see my screen.
We can see your screen.
Thank you very much. So at Plan A, we set out to help empower companies to manage their businesses sustainably by transforming operational insights into positive business results. We were founded in 2017 and are a pioneer in the climate tech space. We do operate under the scientific foundation and understanding that climate change is no longer a problem of scientific understanding, but it's actually a problem of execution. So we do partner with companies, insurance companies, as well as their customers, to help them understand their impact on the environment and reduce it sustainably. On top of the pressure that is resulting from climate change, there are also more and more regulations that are really turning climate risk into financial risk. Just looking at the EU regulatory landscape, it is becoming really, really challenging for companies to really understand what they need to comply with, what they need to disclose in terms of their non-financial reporting, and what are the timelines for the implementation of that. Apart from that dynamic regulatory landscape, we've also identified the following other challenges businesses face on their sustainability journey. It's decentralized data across the entire organization that includes their emissions siloed away in different locations and silos. There are pressures from various stakeholders, be it employees, customers, internal sustainability, business teams, who want to advance on the sustainability journey for different reasons. And there is obviously the financial risk that is tied to the climate risk. For that, Plan A has built an end-to-end platform that really allows to streamline the sustainability journey by providing emissions management, decarbonization, and reporting. The platform allows our users to integrate all of the emission sources, all of the data sources within the organization to shed light on the corporate carbon footprint in a quantified way that is backed by science. Our approach has also been certified by TÜV and is fully compliant with the Greenhouse Gas Protocol. After that first step of shedding light and quantifying the impact of the carbon emissions, we do allow tailored decarbonization through our software that automatically recognizes the biggest areas where improvement is possible and leads our users on a journey where they can take the next steps to decarbonize and work towards carbon neutrality and net zero targets. Last but not least, as already mentioned, this disclosure and reporting is a very important topic. So our platform allows our users to automatically comply with standards like the EU taxonomy, the CSRD, SFDR, and similar regulations by gathering all the data that is already made available to the platform and allowing our users to extract it as a report fitting a certain standard. So on that journey, it is really impactful to see what successes our customers have already achieved. So by implementing the automatically recommended decarbonization plans, we already see a 5 to 15% reduction potential. By that, I mean organic reduction potential of CO2 emissions within the operations of a business. And by further engaging with our scientific team, there is the opportunity to tailor decarbonization pathways to achieve a 30 to 40% CO2 organic reduction. As a last step on the net zero journey, in today's world, it is not entirely possible to just reduce carbon until net zero. So for that, on the last mile, we also do partner with global accredited and fully transparent carbon credit providers, Patch.io and Puro.earth, with full transparency on the social development goals, as well as gold standard classification on the impact that these projects have on society and environment, by allowing companies to really invest 100% of the funds that they have allocated towards compensation to the projects that are most impactful. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to add more detail as it's needed and to answer any questions either now or offline. You have my contact details, so don't be a stranger, and I would love to talk to you about your specific sustainability use case. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Many thanks, Alex. We all share here, and everyone at home, we share your mission for sure. We have one question coming from the audience. They ask, for custom solution, how long does it take to generate a complete assessment of a given business, therefore making the tailored solution operable?
Thank you very much. That's a fantastic question. We do partner both with organizations in the small to mid SME segment, as well as with large corporates like global banks, like Societe Generale or a BMW Group, to mention one of our automotive customers. And it really depends on the complexity of the use case, as well as the size of the company. We do have an initial success that is possible within a matter of weeks for an initial assessment of the entire carbon footprint, but it's really a journey that we take our customers on. So depending on who exactly is asking, the journey can expand over the course of months and even years. But the initial value that is possible by implementing our platform is within a matter of weeks.
Perfect, thank you. And another question is, so we know that the scope 3 emission are called the sacred grail of the emission. How did you cope with this big, hard, like milestone? Like it's a very important topic, but also hard to reach, right? How did you overcome this big issue?
Scope 3 is indeed the holy grail, and we do partner with companies that have 99% of their emissions in scope 3. So for that, we already have tailored modules that allow our customers to measure emissions in their supply chain, upstream as well as downstream, emissions resulting from business travel, from financing activities, so asset portfolios. We are on a continuous journey to expand the product offering in scope 3, as well as tailor it to different industries. But I would not label the problem as fully solved, and that doesn't just relate to Plan A, that relates to the entire industry. Scope 3 is a multi-year journey that will take a lot of development, and we do have tools that enable customers to fully grasp their supply chain emissions, as well as a product lifecycle usage in the hands of the customers.
Thank you so much for your reply and for your pitch today, and we are sure that you will do great on this continuous journey. For all the audience, another little remark to make the best use of our Hopin platform. So just go on the poll button, click on yes on all the startup you would like to talk to, or go to the expo part where each startup has its own booth. You can talk to them, download their material, just have a look at the space around. So we said we did our best to make it like the virtual what we had physical. So here, just have a look and have a virtual walk around. Just to wrap up this last group of P&C startup, and all the startups that have been here with us today, we have Datafolio on the line with Yuri. Yuri, are you here with us?
Yes,
Hi,
eventually.
Yuri. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for being us, and tell us a bit more about Datafolio and the pay-per-use motor insurance policy, which takes into account how you drive.
Okay, let me share my screen. I have to find the presentation, which is this one. I don't know what you see. Can you see?
Yes, we do. We see
you see the full screen, or you see just a...
I see the slide.
You see the slide, so I have to put in panorama, right?
Exactly, that's the right button.
All right. So good afternoon to all of you. Thanks, Laura, Matteo, and Jessica.
Wait.
And
just to make it the best out of it, click again on the button because we still see the slides and the notes.
Sorry, how come?
Maybe try to close and open it.
So let me see.
That works better.
I'm trying my best because apparently if I put on diaporama, you can't see the whole thing, can you?
Now we can see the slide, but that works perfect. So the floor is yours.
Well?
Yes, it works.
Sorry.
No problem.
So good afternoon to all of you. Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Matteo. And thanks, Jessica, for the great work that we have been doing together over the last 5 to 6 months. It's been a pleasure. The QR code that you see here is our Mobility Green Pass, with which we are transforming the mobility insurance. So now that I have hidden the whole thing, I have to find a way to go back to... sorry. Can you see it in full screen now or not?
No, we can't, but maybe you can go down with scrolling with the mouse if you have a mouse, or pressing the button.
I'm sorry for this.
Okay, that's good. That's good. We see the next one.
Okay, so you see the right one. So why are we focusing on mobility insurance? Well, basically, we all know that with the global warming, with the digitalization, with the pandemic as well, the way each and every one of us are using mobility is changing fast. And we all know that insurance is not keeping the pace. Try to find a product that would cover you, no matter you use a car, a motorbike, a bike, or a kick scooter, and you will understand what the problem is. Datafolio, we fix that problem with our multimodal mobility insurance product, which is person-based, frictionless, as it leverages data from our smartphone. We bring to the market what we call the first true pocket insurance product. In less than 2 years, we have developed the first mobility app that detects in real time which vehicle you are using and activates and deactivates automatically and seamlessly a coverage. We also have developed the first insurance product that is priced in real time by the kilometer and based on your actual risk exposure, mobility by mobility and sport by sport, starting with ski insurance this month. We are developing also the first mobility risk management app, which is focused on risk prevention with a ways of risk trip planning functionality. As a true pocket insurance product, we bring simplicity. First, a full in-app subscription process that lasts no more than 5 minutes. It's done once, it's renewed automatically, or in a rechargeable way. Second, the trip detection, the vehicle classification, and the pricing are automatic and real-time. There is no interaction with the device, and that is thanks to our incredible tech and machine learning IP. And third, all trip details, risk exposure information, and insurance premium details are reported in-app just a few seconds after the end of the insured trip. With that all mobility protection, we bring to our users a unique solution to cover them for all their mobility usages. We bring them a cost-effective solution, avoiding paying premium when they do not move. And we allow them to reduce their risk exposure thanks to the information on actual risks that we are providing them with. The team that has built up this technical platform and this product, as you can see, includes seasoned insurance executives, software engineers, and data scientists, which many of them who have PhDs from the best EU and US universities. And we also have senior execs coming from investment banking and top consulting firm. Altogether, we are 17, located in France and in Italy. Overall, we have raised 4.3 million of seed financing, which allowed us to develop our own technology, our product, our tariffs, and our insurance management system, all in one app that is intuitive and makes insurance as simple as a click. We are now actively engaged in business development and in marketing to generate the KPIs that will show strong stickiness to market needs. Proofs are already there as far as mobility platforms are concerned, with one in deployment and another one which is in development stage. We enjoyed best security for our core all mobility personal insurance, personal accident product, with Chubb as our risk carrier for Europe. We are geared to run our 3 parallel marathons with first product extension, which is already in course, to own damage and third-party liability coverages. Second, France launch, end of April, early May. And third, reaching our target of 10,000 users thanks to a very thick business development funnel, both in Italy and in France, with mobility platforms, insurance comparators, and traditional insurance intermediaries. The support of Plug and Play has been key to bring us credibility to new risk carriers to support our product extensions and to open up new business opportunities in the mobility industry. We bring a great team, a pocket insurance product that works and makes sense at a perfect timing, and we are looking forward to continue leveraging PNP great network and obviously extend it. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thanks a lot. Merci, Yuri, for this pitch. We do have a question from the audience. So yes. How can the app differentiate between driving and using a cab? And maybe actually let's extend this question a bit. How can the app differentiate between any means of transportation? Let's say you use you are driving or use a cab or like even in a train. So how can your app differentiate what kind of means of transportation you are using?
So today, active today, we have 4 families of mobility types. Car and motorbike, first one. Bike and kick scooters, second one. Trains and metros, third one. And walking and running. Okay. Our activity recognition algorithm allows us to differentiate those 4 families. We are now working actively, thanks to the sensors of the smartphone, to differentiate motorbike and car, harsh acceleration and gyroscope are used for that, and to differentiate as well kick scooter and bike. Same sensors are used. Okay, but in order to have a clean algorithm, we need to have a lot of trips. So once we have a lot of data, a lot of trips, we can make a clean separation between bike and kick scooter and motorbike and car. Okay, so that's basically how we classify the type of mobility, and then trip detection is based on auto start and auto stop. Okay, with specific rules that we have implemented on our software layer, which is leveraging all the sensors of the smartphone.
Okay, thanks a lot, Joey. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks a lot again for being here today. We are now reaching the end of our startup pitches. I hope that you all enjoy those startups as much as we did. I think we're like very lucky to have that great pitches today. And I will pass it over to Laura for the next step.
Thank you, Arthur, and thank to all the startups we have had today. Amazing day. What a day. So for now, we really need you, our audience, for the People's Choice Award. And you need to vote for the most exciting startup you've seen today. So to do so, please stay on the main stage and click on the right side on the screen on the poll button. So you will find there all the names of the startups that you saw pitching here today, and you can vote for the one that stood up to you the most. So please go there and vote for the one that you really enjoy. Like, we had so many amazing startups, but we are sure we will have an amazing winner. While everyone now is voting, please go for their favorite startup. We will continue with the Corporate Innovation Award. And for this, I will hand it over again to Arthur.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. So yeah, we are the part where I was very excited about. So we are going to give the Corporate Innovation Award, rewarding one of our partners that was particularly engaged and innovative this year. And I'm very pleased to announce that this year, the award is going to Renland. So yeah, congratulations. They have been like particularly engaged in the mentorship session throughout the BAF this year and started a lot of very interesting partnerships and collaboration with our startups. But I think the best will be to hear directly from them.
Hello, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to let you know how happy we are to have been nominated for and actually won Plug and Play's Corporate Innovation Award. The last batch was one of the highest quality and most value-adding we have experienced in our long partnership with Plug and Play. We talked to a lot of great startups, had super fun participating in the mentorship sessions, and are happy to announce that we will implement a POC with one of the startups this year. Plug and Play with their program offers us an optimal framework to accelerate the innovation projects of Rheinland Versicherungsgruppe. Especially the networking activities with the partners as well as the startups, and a certain push and pull factor helps us to work on the relevant topics in a structured way. We're looking forward to more great batches in the future, and hopefully we'll also win the next Corporate Innovation Award. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the event, and see you.
No.
So thanks for this great word, Luis. And now I will pass it back to Laura, to my dearest colleague Laura, for this People Award. I hope that you all had the time to vote.
Yes, thank you so much. So let's go back now to our People Choice Award. I hope all of you voted for your favorite startup of today, because I'm very, very excited to find out who won. So now the winning startup, the one that our audience preferred, is ZenOwn.
Almost.
No confetti, but we throw this. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Big shout out to you. It was an amazing path and a great pitch. Absolutely great, well-deserved prize. And looking forward to see what future developments will be for you. Bart and ZenOwn, you will receive this. Now let's see. Before closing, I would like to invite our amazing Olivia to share again her screen to see the results of her scribbling, how it's actually the final result, how it ended up with the second part of the startups. Now it's complete. It's amazing.
Wow, that's amazing. That's gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you so much. We will hang it in our office.
Definitely. Yeah, a big thanks to everyone that joined our Winter Summit today, especially to our trusted corporate partner.
To all the startups in our portfolio, in our programs.
To all of the speakers and VC.
To our amazing program manager, Jessica, who made all of this possible. To Gada for the amazing and incredible support. To all the people behind the scenes, as well as our plug-and-play ecosystem friends. And to all of you that have been walking through this innovation journey together with us.
And see you tomorrow for the Startup Crash Fair.
And see you at the networking in a second.